This has been a long time coming. Will this enable the CBD to rebound?
Good morning, Anthea. And look, we hope so. It has been a long time coming, and we welcomed it yesterday, and Victorians now just want to get on with it. We were flying a couple of weeks back. The short, sharp circuit breaker, as it was termed, stopped everybody in their tracks across the whole state, and now we get a chance to restart again, hopefully for the last time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hopefully for last time, because we both know just how quiet it has been, particularly in the CBD. On the issue of masks, how big a barrier were they to workers who were allowed to go back into the office actually returning to the office?
Yeah, it was the major impediment that was stopping people coming back in from the office. And you can understand when they're sitting at their desk trying to have a conversation or trying to do a phone call in some cases with a mask on, it made it impossible. And particularly when they're saying, hey, we're able to do this at home without having a mask on, why do we need to come back into the office? So the removal of masks is a massive step forward. You know, I don't think anybody minded wearing them on public transport and the like, but when they got into the office, you know who you're around, pull the mask off and let the collaboration begin. So that will be the biggest thing that has occurred to enable, you know, areas like the CBD to come back to life as office workers come back in.
How concerned are you, Paul, that many workers simply won't return to the office, or at least not every day?
Yeah, look, I think that is one of the realities going forward. I don't think people will be back in the office every day in every environment. You know, most of the CEOs that I'm talking to suspect it'll be somewhere between 3 and 4 days back in the office, and probably a gentle migration towards that. I think, you know, you'll see 2 days a week and then 3 days a week, and some will experiment with 4. But I think what we found last year was that there was some benefits to working from home. There'll be benefits for the employee, there'll be benefits for the employer. I don't think it's a stay at home permanently, but I'm not sure it's a come back to work 100% either. And that's one of the things that we have to do over the next period, is work out what that happy medium is. We've seen from other states that, you know, that's a trend that not everybody has returned to the office. And I don't think that will be the case in Victoria either.
Do you think enough has been done by state government, local council, in terms of supporting those traders, particularly in the CBD, who are hurting?
Oh, it's been tough. There's no doubt about that. And look, you know, the truth is, it wouldn't matter how much money you threw at, you know, some of those businesses. All they really want is the foot traffic to return, you know, the ability to trade with customers there. So, and that'll be the challenge ongoing here. The support that's been there, you know, has been targeted. Has it been enough? You know, it's probably never going to replace the profits that, you know, the businesses would have made. And, you know, unless the CBD returns with a high level of foot traffic, you know, unfortunately, it may mean the end for some of those businesses as well. And that's why the lockdown we had a couple of weeks ago hurt so much. You know, the city was starting to come back up and start firing again. And then, as I said earlier, we were stopped in our tracks. Now we've got to make a concerted effort to get back in there. And it's not just the Melbourne CBD either. There's a lot of the regional towns that have, you know, their population centres, their CBDs have hurt through this as well. So it's important across the board now. You know, we do as much as we can to encourage workers back into the office, even if that is for 3 days a week.
It's been clear, because this 5-day lockdown was triggered after the virus escaped hotel quarantine. Obviously, the state government has been very tight-lipped as to when international arrivals will resume. Some have said that they don't want arrivals to come at all, so that we take away this risk. What's your stance? Victorian
government have not done hotel quarantine well. I mean, we've had 3 outbreaks as a result of it. We can't afford another, you know, outbreak from it. So until the system is absolutely working, and until we can have confidence in it, we should not return to hotel quarantine. You know, we need confidence in our hotel quarantine, we need confidence in contact tracing, and we want Godspeed to the vaccine rollout. They're the 3 things that are going to keep Victorians safe. And if we can't do any of those to the level that we need to keep the community safe, we shouldn't do it.
And finally, footy fans, no doubt they'll be pleased about 50% crowds at the AFL. There's still confusion over major events crowds, though. What would you like to see?
Yeah, there is. And it's, well, great news that the footy crowds are back at 50%. Hopefully they can actually go higher than that. And I guess over the next month, we'll see that a little bit. But, you know, we'd like to see crowds up over sort of 75% if we can, and hopefully at some point get back to 100%. So it's great for the footy. We've seen the Australian Open conducted really well. We saw the Boxing Day test conducted really well too. But what's not clear is the guideline for events of all types to enable them to return as well. And that's what we want to see out of the state now is a very clear methodology on how to apply to activate your event, make sure that the COVID safe plan is put in place, and then what the timeline for approval is going to be so that event organisers can start working against the timeline as they're professionally doing anyway. So, but to give them the clearance, give them the guidance that, hey, if you put it in within X amount of weeks, you'll get a response so they can start working through their events.
Paul Guerra, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Pleasure, Anthea.